Hi there, I'm Sean Kelly, and this is my channel on everything real estate. This video in particular is the start of a series, chapter by chapter, all about the pre-licensing exam. There's other places to get this information, of course, but unless you want to sift through 1,000 pages of the textbook, or listen to hour-long videos of lectures, I think this will help you. These videos, other than this intro, will be getting straight to the point and will be a condensed version of the learnings, highlighting the important pieces and giving you a fresh perspective. Real quick, I've been practicing real estate for years now, from investing to remodeling, and I'm also a part-time content creator, so I thought, why not join the two together and provide some value for you? One last piece of information before getting to my pre-licensing introduction is, first off, smash that subscribe button down below so you can follow along with the series. It's a free way to show your support for my channel. And second, if you haven't signed up for the pre-licensing courses yet, I have a 10% off link down in the description below. This includes continuing education and post-education. You also get 10% off down below. So let's get into it. Practicing real estate without a license is a felony. Don't do it. There are several exemptions, but we'll get to those later. But this is how I really want to set the mood for this course. Real estate is strict. After you complete this pre-licensing course, you must then fill out a license application, take the North Carolina exam and pass, and then become affiliated with a BIC, or a broker in charge. Let's go over that again. You must take the pre-licensing course, pass the course exam, then take the North Carolina exam and pass, and then become affiliated with a firm. There is a character investigation along with a background check that you'll need to do. You might as well get that out of the way now. Mine cost me about $35 and I've moved about 4 times over the past 7 years. After you pass the pre-licensing exam, you then have 180 days to then take the North Carolina exam. Failing to take the exam within 180 days will forfeit you, along with not showing up to an appointment you've set, appearing 15 minutes late to an appointment you've set, or failing to show proper ID during that appointment. That's not me. You'll need to take into consideration that the exam is split up between state exam and the national exam. You'll need to pass both. Once all the exams are passed and you become affiliated with a broker, you then become a provisional broker yourself. To become a non-provisional broker, you must then take post-education classes. You must also take post-education classes so your license doesn't become inactive. The requirements for post-education are: complete 90 hours of classes. You must take a minimum of 30 hours per year, so you can delay becoming a full broker for about 3 years. The deadline is the anniversary of your license date, and the courses are 301, 302, and 303, which you can take in any order. Now for continuing education. Every licensee must complete 8 hours of continuing education every single year, and it must be completed by June 10th. Another thing to note, dates are very important during this class, unless we're referencing points of history. When we say a course needs to be completed by June 10th, that June 10th will be an answer on the test. Then you also need to remember that you must renew your license by June 30th every single year for a $45 fee. Okay, so let's hit that again. So post-education, again, it's 90 hours total, a minimum of 30 hours per year, and is due on the anniversary of your license. And then continuing education is 8 hours a year forever and is due on June 10th every single year. And this is due starting the first year after your renewal. So you potentially get your first year off of continuing education. And then again, you must renew your license every year on June 30th for a $45 fee. If you fail to do this, it will make your license expired, not inactive. It will make your license expired. So inactive versus expired. So an inactive license is when you fail to affiliate with a broker in charge, or you don't take your post-education classes, or you fail to take your continuing education classes. Your license becomes expired when you fail to renew on June 30th, or you fail to pay the $45 fee. It's very important to know those differences. Inactive is more about taking the steps to move forward, while expired is more about just renewing your license. So there's different levels to a license. So there's broker in charge, who has the authority and the supervision of an office location. Then there's the full broker, or a non-provisional broker, who is someone that has taken the post-education classes. And then there's a provisional broker, which if you're watching this, that's probably what you're going to become as soon as you finish passing these exams. It's a licensee who is going for post-education classes and is affiliated with the broker in charge. Now for some important details. Who needs a license? Anyone or entity that does the following: lists, sells, or buys houses, negotiates the sale, rents out a place, like from a property manager perspective, and advertises real estate. These are all for others. You can do these things if it's for your own property. So when is it legal? So let's go back to that line, practicing real estate without a license is a felony, and clear that up for a second. You can practice real estate without a license as much as you want, but you can't get paid for it. No payment of any kind. The exemption is that if you own the property you're selling, you can work for yourself. So there's other exemptions, and let me read these off. You have attorneys and those under court order, trustees under a will, and salaried employees acting as unlicensed assistants. Let's dive into that last one for a second, unlicensed assistants. So unlicensed assistants must be W-2 salaried, and again, there's a couple of more restrictions on here. Let me read them off. They can perform administrative tasks, update MLSs, complete forms, schedule appointments, and place lock boxes. Now, of course, like everything, there's a lot of things that they can't do. They can't look for clients, they can't show properties like at an open house, they can't work with clients, and they can't advertise. Now, this is when selling or buying a house. If we're talking about property management business, there's other rules there, of course. Again, there's another exemption here. W-2 salaried assistants can do all of those things if they are working on selling the house that the entity owns or is trying to buy. So basically, Lowe's can have their salaried cashier go and buy land places. It's completely legal. Walmart can get one of their salaried employees who doesn't have a real estate license and get them to sell one of their buildings. Okay, we have a weird point to make here. Real estate auctioneers. This was actually on the test. An auctioneer needs both an auctioneer's license and a real estate license if selling a home. So we are about halfway, probably. So let's do a quick recap. After taking the pre-licensing exam, you have 180 days to take the state exam. After taking that exam, you're a provisional broker that must affiliate with the broker in charge to practice real estate. To become a full broker, you must take the post-education classes, which is 90 hours split up into 30-hour classes. Then you will need to complete 8 hours a year of continuing education classes. Forever. You can practice real estate without a license, but you can't get paid for it. Unless, of course, it's your own property. Unlicensed assistants can do administrative work, but can't show properties, advertise, or meet with clients. Again, the exemption is unless the property is owned by the entity that administrative assistant works for. All right, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. There will be questions on the test about this. There are 9 members of commission, each serving 3-year terms. 7 are governor appointed and 2 are legislative. 3 must be licensees. They must have their real estate license. 2 must not have their license. And the other 4 can be pretty much whatever. Their biggest responsibility is to protect the public from the likes of you. Their role is to create rules and regulations, and they provide information and set educational requirements. They will look into complaints and violations, and they can discipline you, but they can't fine you. That's a test question. They can't fine you and they won't fine you. So they can do all this by auditing you. If, say, they get a complaint, they can go and subpoena your records and show up unannounced. In general, they can discipline you by the following: reprimanding, revoking your license, suspending your license, censoring you, but they can't fine you. And it's not really related to this, but you can also surrender your license if you chose to. Now more on your license. To get compensated by real estate activities, besides the exemptions we mentioned, your license must be current and active. If your license is expired, you probably didn't renew or pay that $45 fee, which remember is due on June 30th every single year. When you first pass the exam, your license will remain inactive until you affiliate with the BIC. They should be the ones filing the activation form, and that's when your license becomes active. So if your license becomes inactive, you can reactivate it by affiliating with the BIC or taking your post-educational classes, whichever one is preventing you from having that active license. When it comes to an expired license, you can get it renewed renewed by paying a late fee as long as you're within 6 months of it being expired. If you're after 6 months, you must reapply and take more education classes. So when it comes to money, you can't earn money when your license has become expired or inactive, but you can still receive money if your license is expired or inactive, as long as that work was done when you were current and active. As an example, let's say I sold a house in June and the commission hasn't quite hit my bank account yet. My license expires and then the money still comes in. That's completely fine because I earned it when my license was current and active, but I'm just receiving the money after it's become expired. So we're almost to the end. Let's just sum it all up. North Carolina Real Estate Commission, or NCREC, is made up of 9 members. 7 are governor appointed and 2 are legislative. 3 must be licensees and 2 must not be licensees. The Real Estate Commission can reprimand, suspend, cancel, and revoke your license, but can't fine you. You must renew your license every June 30th for a $45 fee, otherwise your license becomes expired, not inactive. If you miss this date, you still have 6 months to renew, but you must pay a late fee. You must affiliate with the BIC to get an active license, and you can't earn money with an inactive license, but you can still receive money that you had previously earned with your active license. Everyone, thank you so much for watching this introduction. This will probably be one of the quickest videos. I'd love it if you'd provide any feedback you have down in the comments below. Did I leave out too many details? Were there too many images? Not enough images? Did I talk too fast? Did you find something inaccurate in my video, or did I repeat myself too much? And positive feedback is definitely welcome as well. Again, this series isn't meant to replace reading the book or going to class. It's just meant to be supplemental. So when you're going through those chapters, you can kind of get an overview here, and then you can do the same thing right before you go and take the exams. Just for a quick refresher. This is supplemental, not a replacement. Thanks again, everybody. Remember to smash that subscribe button down below. And if you're looking to take your classes and haven't signed up yet, there is the 10% off link down in the description below. Thanks again. I'll see y'all for chapter 1.